What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Jerrold Smith, back with another episode of the Basketball Adjacent Podcast brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network. First and foremost, thank you to every single person that's gone out and streamed Sweet Life Los Angeles on HBO Max. Myself, all the homies, my girlfriend Cheryl, Kofi, Jordan, Tylynn, Bree, Amanda, Becky, Rob, Jalen. We put our lives, our hearts into that series. We appreciate y'all for streaming it. We appreciate y'all, interacting with it on Twitter. Keep streaming the fuck out of that shit because y'all want a season 2, so do we. And we only get season 2 if y'all continue to stream that shit, so I appreciate y'all. We back with another episode of the Basketball Adjacent Podcast. If you watched the show, then you know shit got a little tricky on the show, but I promise you we got a good episode for you today. We got my brother Nick Hamilton in the building. Nick, what's good with you, man?
What's good? I'm happy to be here. And like he said, make sure y'all go stream Sweet Life. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Man, I appreciate you for pulling up. I wish we could have caught you before you headed out so we could have sat down in person and had you in the studio. But, nonetheless, I appreciate you. We've been talking about getting you on for a minute, so I'm glad we could make it work.
Definitely. I'm happy to be here, man. Whatever you want to know, I got you. I got all the info.
So if the people don't know, this is Mr. Westchester. This is Mr. Westchester basketball. This is the definition of a student athlete. I was putting together the outline for the show. Obviously, Nick is a good friend of mine, so there wasn't much that I had to put together. But I was reading an article from back when we was in high school. I think it was a Daily Breeze, and they quoted you. They was like, I can't remember the last time I didn't get an A, because if I can get A's, then why would I get anything other than an A? And I was like, yo, like that's Nick to a T.
To a T, that's for sure. Yeah. I think 5th grade or 4th grade. I think I was like 4th grade when they did the number system. I think I got like 1-3.
Yeah.
And basically from 5th grade, I got all 4s, and then middle school all A's, high school all A's. Just never saw anything less than.
Man, let me tell you, to any younger kids that are listening, this is the guy that you want to be like. This is the blueprint. My pops used to tell me is a B for basketball, and obviously the goal is to get A's, but I couldn't get anything less than a B if I wanted to hoop. And thankfully, in middle school, high school, I had a 4.0 GPA, so mostly A's. But great blueprints to follow as far as not just myself, but this guy. He's really the guy. Tell me what that journey, how big of an impact academics has played in your journey before we get into the basketball of it all.
I mean, academics is the reason I'm in basketball. I'll be honest with you. Academics is the reason I'm here today.
Yeah.
So for me, I have the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship.
Yeah.
I applied for it in high school, and it pays for everything. It paid for my undergrad, it paid for my graduate school, and right now paying for my doctorate.
Sheesh.
So for me, academics has been amazing. We had to both use our academics to kind of to get in and be able to walk on.
Say that.
For me, I got into Cal strictly off of academics, and I was able to walk on to the basketball team. And then from there, well, let me tell you a quick little story. I know you're gonna wait for
that. Go ahead.
So basically before I even get my scholarship, I go to visit Cal. So at the end of the day, it was down to UCLA or Cal.
I remember because I remember the visit to UCLA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So those are my final 2. So UCLA was cool. I already knew a gang of people. I knew a lot of people already just because everyone's from LA for the most part. So then I go to Cal, go visit, and then they asked me like, what's the difference like between Cal and UCLA? I was like, to be honest, it's really the money. Mm-hmm. I said, UCLA, I'm going there for free. I know a lot of people. It's fun. At Cal, like y'all want me to pay $10K a semester. Like I don't got that. Like that's like. They're like, oh, don't worry about it, loans and all that. I'm like, I'm cool. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Especially if I have the opportunity, to go to a school for free. So I said, if I got the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship, which pays for everything, then I'll go to Cal. I leave the campus visit. I go home. I check my email. Bam, got the scholarship.
Sheesh.
So for me, it was like, all right, I got to go to Cal.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, now I'm trying to make the team and everything. I go there, I sit down with Conzo Martin. That was the head coach at the time. I sit down with him. He's like, sorry, we don't have any spots for you or anything like that. Roster's already, been filled, the whole 9. He said, but we practice at 6 o'clock every morning. If you want to come watch, you can.
Yeah.
So every day for 7 of the 8 weeks during the summer, my freshman summer, I was there. The only week I missed was 1 week that I told him I wouldn't, and that was midterms.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there every day, 6 a.m., just watching practice. I didn't participate not one time.
Yeah.
Like not once. Like I didn't pass, I didn't shoot, I didn't stand on the side of the court and shoot. I was sitting down, fully clothed, watching everybody else practice. Last day of practice, last day of the summer workouts. Bring me in his office. He's like, do the guys work hard? I'm like, yeah, they work hard. And he asked me a couple other questions. He's like, would you work hard if I was your coach? I'm like, yeah, welcome to the team. That simple. He didn't see me play.
Yeah.
He didn't see anything. He just saw me just keep coming. The determination and perseverance I just wanted to be.
Say that, because I don't know if we ever had a chance to. I think that's the first time I'm actually hearing you tell me the story of how it actually happened.
We never talked about the story.
Very similar. I took a little bit different route. I chose to go to UCLA. I had, some smaller school looks. Chose to go to UCLA obviously because of the academics and because I knew, that what's going to be more important is the career that I make for myself outside of basketball. So chose to go to UCLA. I got on campus, bro, and I was like, man, I got to get on this fucking basketball team, dog. Like, I ain't never been on no campus and been one of those 15 guys walking around with that backpack, walking around like niggas know you hoop and shit like that. So I went to the basketball office up at UCLA. Like, man, we don't got no roster spots. Like, same deal. Like, we're already full. All our scholarship guys, came back, yada, yada. And I was like, all right. So I met this dude who I think you may know because he was at SC last year, Wendell Farrow.
Yeah, he was up there at Cal with me.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah, Deli's my guy. Shout out to Deli. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Deli. So Wendell was
shout out him one more time.
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my big bro. If it wasn't for him, he was a video coordinator for the women's team at UCLA when I was a freshman at UCLA. And I met him through, I don't know if you ever met Easy, who was at UCLA, but Easy Money Harper. Shout out to Easy.
Oh yeah, Easy.
Yeah, rest in peace, Easy. Easy introduced me to Wendell. And I was telling Wendell, I was like, man, I'm trying to hoop. Like, I'm trying to make the team, whatever it takes. Like, just let me know. And Wendell was like, all right, cool. We practice in the morning. You're going to be on the scout team. You're going to help run the plays and get the team ready for the game. And I was like, all right, bet. And after that, I could walk onto the team. He's like, we'll figure something out. So at the time, I didn't know that Wendell was a video coordinator for the women's team. So I pull up to practice that one morning at like 6 a.m. and he hands me a jersey and some shoes. And I get dressed and I go out into the court and I'm like, yo, this is the women's team? And he's like, yeah, I'm the video coordinator for the women's team. We finna play, we the scout team for the women's team. You're gonna run their plays, you're gonna get us ready for our game. And I was like, all right, you know what? Bet. Wendell sat me down, he was like, look, if you want to make the men's team, it's no better person in your corner than Coach Corey Close, who's the head coach of the women's team, because they sit in the same office building, a door down. They talk to each other about plays, plans, practices. You play in all the same schools. They got all the same systems. So you got nobody better in your corner. And I was like, all right, bet. You know what? At the end of the day, these are Division I athletes. These beautiful women that are out here, doing their thing and have the opportunity to play on this platform. And I want to get to where they at. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna play my hardest. At the time, I'm on a scout team against, shout out to the GOAT, Jordan Canada. Jordan busting my ass in practice every single day. You got Lajane Drummer, the pride of Long Beach and St. Bernard's, these girls are some hoopers, dog. And I was like, all right, bet. Like, this is really going to get me better playing against these girls. And then, Coach Corey, we sat down, we had a conversation. And she was like, yo, Wendell was telling me you want to play for the men's team. And I was like, yeah, I really want to walk on to the men's team if they have any opportunities. And shout out to God, like, not for the injuries, but, that year the men's team got riddled with injuries and they just needed people literally to run, like, to be the scout team for the men's team in practice. And so I met with the men's coaches. Shout out to Coach Dwayne Broussard, who's now at TCU. But I met with him. He was like, "Yo, we don't got no spots, but it's the same deal. If you want to come watch practice and learn the plays and like learn the guys." So I ride my scooter to the women's practice in the morning. I go to class, men practice in the afternoon. I ride my scooter back down the hill, go sit and watch the men's practices for 2 hours. And I was doing that for maybe like a month, 2 months straight. And then I met Coach Alford, and he was like, "Yo, we need somebody to run plays. I see you here every single day, so I know your schedule lines up with practice." I knew everybody on the team just because, just being me. And I had Coach Corey in my back pocket, vouching for me. And it by the grace of God, bro, just exactly the same way it worked out how it worked out.
Man, congrats to you too, man.
Man, look, congrats to both of us, dog, because and everybody who has come through a college basketball program knows how tough it is to be a walk-on. But for that to be your process into being a walk-on, like to show your hard work before you get a chance to show your hard work is tough. That's really tough. So talk to me about, what your walk-on journey was at Cal. Like what was that? What was your role on that team?
Oh, so for me, I had a really good relationship with all the players and the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like, Westchester, all we do is teach defense
Yeah.
and everything like that. So like for me, I was my freshman year and sophomore year and junior year, I was like pretty much like one of the head people for the scout, kind of like the same
Mm-hmm.
thing for you.
Same exact thing.
And then they just want me to always like just make it hard on our starting point guards and two guards, just playing defense as hard as I
Literally,
can.
bro. Literally. My practice directive each day was be a fucking pest.
Yeah,
Be a gnat.
100%. And then for me, it was so it kind of started off just coming to practice and everything, doing my little scout thing, and that was cool. I was happy with it.
Mm.
And then as we kept going on at year after year, from scout, I started watching film with the assistant coaches to kind of learn because they would teach me to play, and I would have to like help teach the other guys on
Yeah.
the scout team to play.
Yeah.
So I would go watch film and then start studying, and that's when I kind of learned that I like watching film and like studying the game. And then that's where that all like where I am now as far as coaching. That's
Yeah.
where it kind of started to develop right then.
Okay.
So then my junior year, I actually played a little bit more. I got in a lot more games
Yeah.
actually, and they were like, good game. Like I played UCLA. Y'all. This is when y'all had Lonzo.
Yeah.
Y'all were killing us.
Yeah.
But I went in the game, and then this is when Don Coleman, shout out my boy Don,
Uh-huh.
he started going crazy. And like I remember, like
I remember the exact game that you're talking about.
all y'all coaches was getting mad because it's like, why y'all letting this dude just drive and score every time? Because the game it started getting close. So I got in. It was like a 20-something game, and then I got out. It was like probably like a 14-point game, but like I was getting thrown in like pretty like UCLA game. That's a big
That's a
game.
big game. Yeah.
So and then basically from that year, obviously Kwanzaa left, took the job at Missouri, and then for me when Kwanzaa left, I was the semester away. I could have graduated early actually my junior year, but I decided to pick up a double major. So I majored in media studies and I picked up my double major in legal studies, and I could have finished the fall of 2017. But then with the coaching change, Joaquin Jones came in. He was just like, man, because I told him, I was like, I might want to graduate early. I might not want to play my last year, whatever. He was just like, man, come back, come play. And that was just what it was. So I played in all 32 games. Started in like 8 games. And then we didn't have the best year, but like just having the experience.
Yeah.
That was like there was nothing like that. Like especially like being in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
In regular games where they calling your name, you running out the crowd, like that was amazing.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like that was like my whole little journey, and then kind of just going back when we had Jaylen Brown and Ivan Rabb as a walk-on, it was killer. Like we went 18-0 at the crib. We set a school record of 27 straight home game wins.
Yeah.
Every game was like almost sold out. Like that was my sophomore year. That year was cracking. So I had a ton of fun. Got to go to Australia.
Man, I think that was the same year. Oh no, you said your sophomore year. We went to Australia my senior year.
Yeah, my sophomore year we went to Australia. So it was like a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun. I wouldn't substitute that for anything in the world,
bro.
And then that was the journey right there.
People ask me, what the experience is like playing college basketball, especially being somebody like me who didn't play a ton. I'm like, man, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything in the world. Like you talk about starting a game. I never was able to do that, but just being there, the energy that's in some of those buildings, especially when you get to the tournament, the energy that's in those buildings when somebody hits a game winning shot and the whole crowd just goes fucking nuts, bro. Like I remember I like telling this story about my senior year. I was fortunate enough for UCLA to offer me a scholarship because the same thing like you just said, you put your head down, you put the work in, they're gonna notice. Like granted I didn't get in a bunch of games, but I was on scholarship. I didn't have to pay for school at that point. But I like telling the story. We were at Kentucky, and we had just beat Kentucky in Kentucky. And we're sitting in the locker room. Coach Alford is doing an interview. Coach Alford runs into the locker room and has the most energy I've ever seen him have. And he bypasses Lonzo, who just won us the game, TJ Leaf, who just won us the game, Bryce Alford, Isaac Hamilton, bypasses everybody, comes straight to me because I had so much fucking energy in that building, bro. We just in each other's faces yelling, bro. I'm like, bro, these are experiences that we'll look back on. It's like only 15 guys get to do this a year, bro.
For real.
That's really nuts. That's really nuts.
I already know because I remember my freshman year, we didn't even win. Like my freshman year, we didn't win a lot. I think we were in conference. I think we were like 9-9.
Mm.
But it was crazy. We went on a 4-game winning streak, and then 3 of those games were all game winners.
Yeah.
It was Washington. Shout out my boy Sam Singer. He wasn't the best shooter. Comes in, end of the game. We just drew up a play. They pass it to him at the top of the key, drains it.
Yeah.
We at Washington, run off the court, everything, going crazy. Then we come back. Then we play the LA schools. We play USC first. Ty Wallace pulls up for 3.
Ty
before
Wallace.
the buzzer, bang, hits it. We win another one. That's 2 in a row. Then the third one was actually UCLA.
Yeah.
It was like with 20 seconds left. Dwight Tarwater, corner 3, right in front of our own bench.
Yeah.
Hits it, and then we go up and we end up winning the game. So I definitely understand. Like you have there's so many more memories I can say.
Right.
But it's crazy.
Right. So you talk about, how academics got you to where you are now and how you kind of fell in love with the process of coaching and understanding the game when you were a walk-on, trying to understand that scouting process. So why was USC that next step for you? Was it kind of just like, did you have other schools that you were looking at as far as like being a grad assistant? Was there something that stood out? Obviously, LA kid, USC is a great place to be. Was there something special that stuck out about USC as opposed to other places? And why grad assistant? Why was that the next step for you? Why didn't you try and kind of do something else in coaching?
Yeah, I got you. So for me, excuse me. So for me, I applied to Cal, SC, and UCLA as far as grad schools went. Got into all 3. And then for the reason why I chose a grad school route was because my scholarship paid for it.
Yeah.
So that was like kind of the first thing.
Honestly, say that because a lot of people are not fortunate enough to have something like that to where you can go straight to grad school. So don't waste that shit. Absolutely.
That was kind of my thing. Like I already know so many people taking out loans, so just go to grad school.
Yeah.
And then for me, they're like you can get a free master's of education. So I'm like, why not?
My dad's still trying to get me to go back to grad school today. He's like, you said you was gonna take a year off and you was going to grad school. I was like, you knew I wasn't going back to grad school.
That right there is what I don't want to hear from my dad.
Exactly.
Shout out my dad because he's the reason why I'm super into education and everything academic. My dad preached it every single day. So shout out to him because he's also the reason why I'm here today. But so when I applied to all 3 schools, I got in all 3. At Cal, I actually found out that Cal, the education program, it was like a sports education program. It actually wasn't covered through my scholarship.
Wow.
I found out this later after I already made my decision to go to SC. I didn't even know that. But it was like something in the curriculum that didn't meet the criteria. So then it was basically USC, UCLA. I reached out to people at UCLA, but I didn't really have no connects at UCLA for real. Yeah. So when I reached out to SC, I already knew Jason Hart because Jay Hart, I've known him since high school. Yeah. So basically,
that's a real LA legend.
Real LA legend. 10 years in the NBA, also head coach of the G League Unite. We're gonna get to that in a second. But so basically, I hit him up. He's like, "Yeah, I'll get you a little meeting." So I go sit down with Andy Enfield, head coach at SC. And at first, he's kind of like, I felt like he was like kind of hesitant. He's like, we don't really pay our grad assistants. I'm like, I got a scholarship. I'm not even worried about the money. Yeah. Oh, well then, come on. So was a grad assistant for 2 years at SC. I did a lot of video, learned how to use all kind of stuff. My second year actually as a GA, our director of scouting, who's basically the video coordinator, he left, Marty Bahar. He went assistant coaching job.
Shout out to Marty Bahar. He actually coached the UCLA Sons of Westwood team in the TBT the last year that we had the team.
He did. Shout out to Marty. That's my guy right there. So when he leaves, basically me and my other boy, Kirk Harris, he was the other GA at the time, we basically kind of took the role of we kind of just took over the role. And then this last year, we both got put into full-time positions as director of scouting, the director of scouting. So that's kind of how I got it. And then from there, Jay Hart got this head coach job at G League Ignite. And then he said, "You want to come?" I said, "My bag's already packed. Let's go." Yeah. So I came over here. So now I'm like video coordinator, but I get on the court a lot with guys. So basically video coordinator, SAS assistant.
Yeah.
So.
It's all a process. I remember when, even at the college level, when we were when I was back at UCLA, like video coordinators, they was out there If we didn't have enough players that could suit up one day, a video coordinator was running with the scout team. So I totally understand, you know. But so what? And we're gonna get into everything with the Ignite in a second. But what did your time at USC, from being a grad assistant to going into scouting and kind of the development of your career in coaching, what did that mean to you as far as, like, when an opportunity comes up with the Ignite, or as you look to mold your career in coaching, what did that mean for you? How did it change the way that you looked at coaching, and kind of mold the path that you're looking to follow?
I mean, for me, it meant a lot. I went actually my first year, after my first year of grad assistant coaching. I went to a Final Four because you always say that's what they always say. That's where you network and everything like that.
Mm.
So it wasn't really until there when I went to the Final Four, I'm meeting with a whole bunch of people. And I'm seeing these dudes who's 30, 32,
Yeah.
33. Me at the time, I'm 22 still. So yeah, because my birthday was in May. And yeah, it was in April. Yep. So I'm still 22 at the time. So I'm meeting dudes, they're 30, 31, 32. I'm like, oh, you assistant coach? Nah, grad assistant.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh. Meet somebody else, 35, grad assistant. I'm like, hold on. They see me, they're like, you 22 and you're a grad assistant?
Yeah.
They're like, yo, you did it the right way.
Yeah.
And so like it took me a second to click that like these dudes, they did other things in their lives. Not no, not, but then they realized later down in life that they wanted to get into coaching and they
Yeah.
have to still go through the kind of same route.
Yeah.
So for me, it clicked on like, dang, I'm young and I'm doing this, I'm doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing it, no knock against any low major schools because everything's a grind for
Yeah.
everybody. But I'm like, I'm doing it at a Pac-12 Power 5 school in LA.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get like that looks great. So for me, it was great. Like the networks, learning like the politics of everything. Like
Yeah.
I got to see things behind the scenes that a lot of people don't understand. They
Yeah.
don't know. So as far as like the coaching standpoint, I learned a lot how to draw plays, look up film, find this, find that, like all those things. Like I appreciate it. I'm thankful for USC for the time I was there. It's all 3 years because every year I learned something new.
Yeah.
I kept adding to just kind of my own little palette of knowledge as far as coaching and everything like that. And this past year we got to go to the Elite Eight, and that was fun. Like even just being a part of that, even though it was the bubble, like
Yeah.
it was that experience. Like so I got to experience a lot of different things, and I think as far as coaching goes, for me, it was just the right stepping stone. I felt like I learned a lot about college.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with that knowledge, I kind of realized that I did want to try to make that shift to the NBA.
Yeah.
And a lot of people always ask me, like, Nick, you're getting your doctorate of education right now.
Yeah.
Why you need that? You don't need that for, like, do you need it for coaching? A lot of people say, you need that for coaching?
Right.
Nah, you don't. But I'm like, I want to be a GM.
Right.
I want to be a president or a
Right.
commissioner or athletic director or something. I want to be one of the top dudes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, having a doctorate of education, that means I care, I care about education, I care about teaching, I care about helping others. So I just want to use that as basically just that's just always good to have in your back pocket.
At the end of the day, too, it goes back to what shout out to MGrads. You be seeing on Twitter talk about, we need more basketball people in basketball. And to hear you say something like that, it's like, when I graduated college, I went to work at CAA because I thought I wanted to be an agent so I could help my friends that had, league aspirations, overseas aspirations, understand the deals that they're making, what's best for them, putting their best interests at hand in the deals that they're signing, and making sure they're set up for, not just to make this one deal, but to make more deals in the future. And to hear you say, that you're getting your doctorate education, to hold these higher front office positions, but not just, to hold the position, but to understand that most of these players and they're kids when they come into the league, you know what I mean? Like, they're 18, 19 years old, fresh out of college, and don't really understand, the programs, the systems that they're getting into. And to have somebody like you who's also young and black, like most of these kids are, and understands it to a level where it's like, okay, I understand it on the political level, but also I really lived it, like I'm just like you, just a couple years older. I really came from LA. I came up through the hoop shit, and I can understand it in a way that you can, I can break it down for you in a way that you can digest, is really what is important.
Exactly. And then Jay Hart always says all the time, relatability.
Right.
The ability just to relate to these guys and
Right.
make sure they have someone in their corner. Because that's what everything in life. You see someone in the workspace that you can relate to,
Right.
you're going to be drawn to them. you're gonna listen to what they have to say, and that's what matters.
Right. Right. So when did you, obviously you talked about having, league aspirations and coaching and then far beyond coaching. When did you know, or how did you know that this G League position with Jay Hart was right for you? Like, obviously, you trust Jay Hart, and having been with him for the past 3 years, it only makes it that much easier. But I'm sure that there were other opportunities that you might have been exploring or could have held out for.
So yeah, so a couple different places, lower major schools were reaching out to me as far as like being like a third assistant coach.
Mm.
And the reason I was turning those down is basically I said, this is my last year coming, the year I'm in right now, of coursework for my doctorate program.
Mm.
And after that, it's just me working on my dissertation.
Yeah.
So I turned down a lot of things, or like even some positions in the NBA as far as like video, just being a video intern and everything like that, because I just didn't want to feel like I wasn't giving my commitment to my job or my full commitment to my schoolwork.
Yeah.
And so the reason with this, we work out in the mornings, and then I have all this extra time to kind of do my schoolwork or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is the best fit for me as far as like making a jump to the NBA, but not there yet because it's the G League.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a step up because I was in college. Now I'm in the G League.
Yeah.
And now it's like this journey is just a stepping stool. So for me, it was like I thought about it hard because I was like, all right, how am I going to be able to balance school and work? And I wanted to get both my whole commitment. I didn't want to feel like I was lacking in either one.
Right.
And then everything just worked out well. I think the way Hart presented it to me, the way when all talking to Rod Strickland, who's in charge of everything, just kind of talking with them and just kind of like letting them know what my goals were and everything like that and how I wanted to help. I just felt like everything worked out, and I was just excited the minute because I remember when Jay Hart was applying for the position, I was there. I was like, yeah, just do your best,
let me know.
Like, hey, get the job. Because I kind of already knew, like, if he would have got it, like, he always would say that, like, if he ever got something, that most likely he'll probably bring me along with him.
And that's been a long time coming for him too.
I was just basically like, go get it. Like, it's like another opportunity for him. It's great because, he's been in the basketball world for so long.
Yeah.
And now he gets the opportunity to show that he has the head coaching ability. I think he's at a great level to where it's elite.
Yeah.
I can repeat it one more time. Elite players. Like, these guys are elite guys. And he's about to coach them, and we want to have a good, fun season.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's been a long time coming for him, for sure. So describe to some of the people, you have a firsthand look in it, and obviously I understand it a little bit, just having played and have some friends that have gone through it. But what does that G League process look like, especially with the addition of this new Ignite team? So you got kids that are coming straight from high school. You got a couple of kids that may have done. Do you have any kids that went to college, or is it just straight?
Yeah, we actually have to do Amari Hardy,
okay.
Jaden Hardy's brother.
Okay, yeah. So what does the addition of this new Ignite team look like for the G League? What does that process mean for the league and kind of the development of these kids, and how have you seen it be different than if they would have took that traditional college route?
Man, it's great. It's great if you have the opportunity. Obviously, they recruit the top guys, the guys that pretty much everyone already knows is going to be one and done. So that's what they're going after. So if you have the opportunity, I think it's great. I could just give you like a rough schedule of our day to day. They have practice, they wake up, do a little COVID testing, obviously because that's the time period we're in right now. So wake up, COVID testing, then they have weights at about 8:30 to about 9:15. And then after that, they come get shots or a little skill work or whatever we want to work on till 10. Then we got practice from 10 to 12, and then we done.
Yeah.
Then you get your treatment, your food, they fill you up, you get lunch, you get breakfast, and then basically all that time you kind of just get your downtime to recover. And then back at night around like 7, 8 o'clock, we're back in the gym getting shots.
Yeah.
And that's Monday through Friday, and that Saturday we do shooting as well.
Yeah.
So for us, I think it's great because it's all hoop.
Yeah.
It's all hoop. Like, think about it. Like, you were in college, you know what it was as a student athlete.
Yeah.
And you seen the guys, like even the best players, you seen what they had to do. They still had to go to class.
Yeah.
Still had to go to tutoring. Still had to go to
Still had to get grades good enough to be able to continue playing. Yeah.
Exactly. So you still had to do all these things that was a part of your day. It wasn't like, yeah, you could wake up early in the morning and probably go get shots.
Yeah.
That's cool. but then you're gonna go to class, then you're gonna be in class all day, then you got practice, then you probably got study hall, then you got something else,
Yeah.
then you got weights. You gotta have other things. Whereas
Yeah.
here it's like these dudes, they come, and then another thing is like the mindset. Like you have to have that mindset.
Yeah.
Because we talk about it as coaches, like, all right, if you go to college, it's great. You go there, but if you're one and done, you're only gonna be there realistically 6 months.
Yeah.
So you're going there, and the selling point, because I see the difference now, I saw it on both sides. The selling point is, oh, you get the college life experience.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're really, really, really serious about hoop,
and you get work experience,
and you're getting work experience.
Yeah.
You want to be a professional
Yeah.
athlete in the NBA.
Yeah.
So this opportunity is to be a professional athlete
Yeah.
in the National Basketball Association's G League.
Yeah.
You're playing against other pros.
Yeah.
So whereas like you go to college, the scouts look at you, they're gonna be like, oh, there could be that question. I wonder how he would match up against pros.
A grown man. Yeah.
Or,
it's like
or other pros,
Yeah.
And then usually when they like the top players play in Kentucky and Duke, whenever they play, obviously all the scouts are watching to see how they match up well against each other. Where now, like you think about it, Jonathan Kuminga, he just left the Ignite program. He's going to the Warriors.
Yeah.
The Warriors are elite talent.
Yeah.
He might be in the G League playing some games.
Yeah.
So our guys are going to be going against still elite level talent.
Yeah.
Just because it's the G League doesn't mean it's not elite level talent. Like these guys are pros. Like Kuminga, he was amazing.
Yeah.
So the guys are going to see people who just got drafted within the last year, 2 year, 3 years, who could have been a first rounder or a second round pick or top 10 pick, who happen to be just, they're on a really good team. They might have to play in the G League.
Yeah.
So I think the opportunity is great. It's really great. I think that when you look at the difference between college and then doing this route, I think it's just a great opportunity to really just work on your craft. Like obviously, going to college, you get experience of college life, going out, making a lot of friends and everything like that. But at the same time, like if you're really serious about hoop and you want to get to that next level, there's no better place than a place that basically says we hoop all day.
Yeah.
We work on your game all day. We cater to you all day for you to be better and get to that next level. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that iron sharpens iron mentality. The best iron is there playing against other pros that have been through it. Guys on your Ignite team that are trying to go through it, other pros that have, been a part of high level organizations, may still be playing in the G League, but like you said, at the end of the day, those guys are pros too.
Exactly.
Yeah. That makes a ton of sense. So for you personally, what are some of the ways that you kind of try and mentor, not just some of these kids that are playing on the Ignite team, but other people that are, in the basketball world that see the things that you're doing and are trying to understand the game and the ways that you understand and follow similar paths?
I think for me, it's just really just letting guys know it's okay to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think working hard and it just kind of like creating goals for yourself and then just finding ways to go achieve them.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's just on the court, it's like, okay, you want to be, you could do something simple like making a left-hand layup. Like, all right, we're going to come get 100 reps every single day.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. Like some guys, like if I see a weakness, I'm like, all right, even if it's just doing or whatever it could be, anything is super simple. I'm like, we're just going to rep it out. We're going to rep. And then being here is great because it's like, I could pull you to the side. I could do this. I could do that. And then one thing I brought to the table is I give them a quote of the day. I give them a quote of the day every day. The player, I choose a player, and then he reads it at the end of practice. So I send out the text to our whole Ignite, everybody in the Ignite program.
Mm-hmm.
They see the quote of the day in the morning, and then after practice, we choose one of the players and they read it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I feel like I'm trying to like get guys to think, it's not all just basketball too at the same time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like although like this program is all basketball, but sometimes
sometimes
like one thing I always check, I always talk to the guys. I'm like, I got this actually from Kwanzaa Martin. He will always ask is, how's your mind? How's your body? How's your soul?
Bro.
And you gotta check those things.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that because my next question was gonna be, at the same time, it's great that you have the opportunity to play basketball all day because that's what you want to do professionally. But the pressures of that as well, it's like I'm here in this G League Ignite program to get better, to make a difference, and all you thinking about is getting to that next level. Like how do you guys cater to the mind, the soul of these players? What are some of the pressures that you kind of see behind the scenes?
So we actually have a psychiatrist with us, and she's great, Dr. Carnetta, and she basically works with the guys, pulls them aside about 15 minutes, different guys every other day, every day, however she wants to do it, and just kind of checks in.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of her role. We have several mental health support staff with us to kind of always, as far as on that end.
Yeah.
As far as like the coaches, we just try to get these guys to laugh.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you just like I talk to the guys every day. I'm gonna joke around with you. It's not serious 24/7. When we're practicing, but like when we come bring them in to get shots, that's bond time for the coaches and for the players.
Yeah, it's like you know, when you hooping, like you know when to be serious, when to take a shit serious, but at the end of the day, you hooping, like you playing basketball, like just have fun with it, and you know, just be yourself.
So I think that's one thing. Like I try to get guys to laugh. I would try to get them to show their personalities, like open up, be able to come talk to me about whatever. I talk to the guys about whoever they're listening to in music or video games. All these guys, they play video games.
Yeah.
2K. So I talk mess. So I could beat you guys. You know, just little things to just get them to get their personalities out, because like you said, they do have pressures.
Yeah.
Like coming to this program to get to the NBA.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need that little relief that, all right, there's somebody here that just doesn't want to just talk about basketball to me.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, everybody probably hits them all the time. Oh, basketball. So for me personally, I love talking about other things or just joking around about stuff on the court or just asking them how they doing with this, that. So I think that's how I kind of just do it for myself. And it helps me relax too.
Yeah.
Like listening to you guys and watching these guys open up and show their personalities. I learn stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's not always just me teach. They're teachers themselves too.
Yeah. So what would you say is the hardest part about your job and then working with this program, and the best part, the most rewarding part?
The hardest part, I don't think has happened yet, but I can tell you what it will be, and that's just going to basically be when we're playing games and then having to get the film right away, having to get the film back and get the next game ready, getting the scouts ready. I know that's going to be the hard part, but that's the hardest part of the job, but that's probably not the hardest thing to me.
Yeah.
Because like that's just what I do. That's just more like I just know what I have to do. It's just time consuming.
So what's the hardest part for you?
Man. I don't know. This is like I said, this is only week 2. So basically, that's why I said I think that would be the hardest part.
Yeah.
But I think I don't even know. Like right now, it's all good. Like I don't even know what the hardest part would be like.
And we're gonna hope it stays that way. We're gonna hope it stays.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's just the environment. Like everything about it is great. Like the environment, the people, everyone's so positive here. And I think that's one thing I love is the positivity in the support system. All these guys give and everyone gives. Like so I think I would say that's the best part. And then as far as like, and then also just being able to help these kids.
Yeah.
Like you said, like these guys are kids.
Yeah.
Dudes in the league, the 22, 23, they're younger than me.
Yes,
millionaires.
Yes.
They're kids. Like we're kids. Like, and you have all this money and all this opportunity. And a lot of people like try to hold them to these higher standards, but they forget that these guys are kids.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the hardest part is going to be yet. I really don't know. Yeah. I think maybe traveling a little bit.
Well, you know, in G League, you hit some of them cities. Yeah, you got like Canton, Ohio, and whatnot.
I do have my heart. I know the hardest part. I do. For Halloween, I'm going to be in South Dakota. Oh man, so
that's tough.
That's gonna be pretty rough. So some of those cities, those are gonna be rough, but I know it's part of the job, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
That's tough. All right. So what? You know, obviously, and we manifesting it because, you know, the way that you work, we didn't see the progression that you put in the work and you climbing the ladder as fast as most efficiently as you can. What is the mark that you hope to leave behind on this G League Ignite program?
I just want to be somebody that basically like the guys know that they can always come to, and then just being able to help them, that they still want to reach out to ever get work, get film, anything like that. Just know that I'm always here.
Yeah.
And then from the other side, basically like the front office side, just to show what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
Show that I'm able to do player development on the court, show that I'm able to handle stuff in the film room, scouts and everything like that, and then just keep moving my way up.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I want to leave behind, and just be a guy that everyone gets along with. That's how I always kind of
always.
I've been a special guy. So
at the end of the day, nothing matters as long as you being a great person and people want to work with and be around you. That's
exactly. And then I just want to leave, everyone always with like a good taste in their mouth about me. Like I don't want anyone to ever feel like there's something negative about me. Like I always try to put a smile on everyone's face. I try to get along with everyone as best as I can. And so like I just want everything to just be positive. I love the positive environment. I just kind of want to keep it there.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I love everything. I'm gonna give you your flowers like I love to do with all my friends and all of our homies, bro. You know that at the end of the day, all we want is for the homies to succeed, because if the homies is succeeding, then we succeeding. And I want to give you your flowers. Extremely proud of you for everything you've accomplished, everything that we know you're gonna accomplish. Can't wait to the day where you the president of the Lakers and I'm hitting you up for tickets and be like, hey yo, Nick, I need some tickets, you know what I'm saying? But
nah. Front row anyway, because your next show gonna be filming at the Lakers game.
Say that on some Curb Your Enthusiasm, filming courtside. I say that. I appreciate you for hopping on the pod with me, bro. Is there anything else that you want the people to know about, some of the stuff that you're doing in the community, some of the things that you hope to do? At the end of the day, I started this podcast to let everybody know about the opportunities that are out there adjacent to basketball. And you know better than anybody the community that basketball creates. And we met through hoop, you know what I mean? And to see our relationship flourish, now that I'm done hooping, you still working in hoop, but you still around the game. We met through hoop. At the end of the day, we understand where each other have been, some of the things that we want to do, the values that basketball instilled in us. Is there anything, adjacent to basketball that you got going on that you want to talk about real quick?
Man, trying to think. Learn to invest. There you go.
Say that.
Learn how to invest. I want to say that. I've gotten investing a lot the last 2 years. Probably a lot of people have to. But just learning how to invest, where to put your money towards, getting properties, just all kind of like little things that they don't teach us.
Yeah.
So just learning more than just what you know. And I just wanted to share one little quote, actually a couple quotes of the day.
For sure.
For you. Here's one by Magic Johnson. Talent is never enough. With few exceptions, the best players are the hardest workers. Another one that I liked a lot was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think that the good and the great are only separated by the willingness to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, Larry Bird. I got a theory that if you give 100% all of the time, somehow things will work out in the end.
Yeah.
So just wanted to leave you with that.
Man, no better ending. No better ending. I appreciate you for taking the time out your busy schedule, dog. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a real LA legend, Mr. Nick Hamilton. We're expecting great things out of him, in basketball, outside of basketball. Wishing you all the best, bro. This has been the Basketball Adjacent Podcast. I'm your host, Jerrold Smith, brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network. If I haven't said it already, I'm going to say it again. Stream Sweet Life Los Angeles on HBO Max. All 10 episodes now streaming on HBO Max near you. Hopefully we get a season 2, and hopefully I can continue to have more great conversations like I just did with my brother Nick. I appreciate y'all.